Let's make this fun spring flower bandana. I posted on my social media page and saw that so many people was in love with it, and I thought, why not teach you how to make it? Let's start off by making a whole bunch of flowers. Here's the things that you're going to need. Grab the yarn that you want to use. You choose one color as your, what's the middle of a flower called? I can't think of it, but I know you get pollen. So choose one area, one color for your pollen area. Let's call it that. And then choose a different color for your petals. Let's start off with the pollen area. Comment what it's actually called. Okay, for this one, I'm going to use my 5.5 crochet hook. I'm going to use my 5.5 crochet hook. To start off, we're going to do what they call in the crochet world a magic circle. But y'all know I'm saved and sanctified in this house. So we're just going to call it a moving circle because my God can move all things. Anything I need him to move, he can do it. Okay, so you're going to wrap that around your fingers like so, 2 fingers. Loose part in the front. I call this the connector part because it stays connected to the yarn. So loose in the front, connector in the back. You're going to take that hook, pull that, twist your crochet hook, yarn over, and pull that through. Now you have a movable circle. The next thing you're going to do is 12 single crochets into the circle. So go into the circle, pull the yarn. You should have 2 loops on your yarn. Yarn over, pull it through 2. That's going to be 1. Into the loop, pull. You got 2 on your hook. Yarn over, pull it through 2. Now that's 2. If you're like me and you tend to lose count, you can do 2 things. 1, count the braid. So 1, 2, right? Or you can also do this. I grab a piece of paper and a pen, and every time I do a single crochet or I add a little note to the paper. So I'm going to do number 4 here and add my note to the paper. You can do that, but we need to do 12 of these. So I just did 4. I will meet you at the 12th one. Okay, so I lost count. I didn't take my own advice and making my mark. And y'all, I tend to lose count very easy. I lose count because I'm saying other numbers while I'm doing this. I don't know why. 9, 10, 11. Okay, this is my 12th one. All right. All right, yarn over. Okay, now that I have 12, you're going to go into your first braid or stitch. Y'all, mine got twisted. Here we go. Sorry. Here's my first braid here. Now that you have your 12, you're going to go into the braid, the first braid, which would be your first stitch. And you're going to do a slip stitch. So yarn over, pull it through that stitch and pull it through that loop. Pull that loop up and then cut. Okay, so now that you've cut that, this is why they call it a magic circle, because when you pull that first string, the circle closes. But this is why I call it a movable circle, because again, my God can move all things, even this circle. All right, so now you should be left with a circle like this. Pull it and close it up. Go ahead and grab your next color. All right, let's make the petals. you are going to make a slip stitch, and to do that, you pull that over like so. Then you're going to go from the back and pull that loop through the hoop. Okay, the loose yarn makes the knot tighter, and the connector yarn makes the hole smaller. So go ahead and make that smaller, put it on your hook. And then we're going to make our first petal. I'm going to put all the steps on the screen. Okay, now that you have this slip stitch, you're going to go into the first stitch on your petal. You can really go wherever. And you're going to do a single crochet. So you're going to yarn over, pull that through like that, and then pull that through. Then you're going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, now you're going to do what's called a treble. So you're going to round 2 times onto your hook, go into the next stitch. So how do you know that's the next stitch? You can pull this, you can see where that is, and go into that next braid. Okay, pull that through. Sorry, I confused you there. Yarn over, go through 2. So now you're left with 3. Yarn over, go through 2. Now you're left with 2. Yarn over, go through 2 again. Okay, treble into the same stitch. Go through 2, go through 2, go through the last 2. One more time. Into the same stitch. Yarn over, go through 2, go through 2, go through 2. Now chain 3. 3. Go to the next stitch. Okay, there is your first petal. Let's do that again together. Chain 3, treble, next stitch, yarn over, yarn over, yarn over, treble, same stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, treble, same stitch. Don't yarn over, you're just pulling that yarn. Yarn over here, pull through 2, yarn over here, pull through 2, yarn over again, pull through 2. We're going to end this petal by chaining 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, you might see your hole opening up. Don't be concerned about that. At the end, you can close it. I didn't close it for any of mine because who's going to tell me anything? You know what I'm saying? Okay, we're going to do this 6 times. So you just did 2 petals. Do 4 more and I'll meet you at the last petal. So I am with my last petal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I am going to go into the first stitch of this petal right here where I started, and I'm going to do a single crochet. Nope, scratch that. I'm going to do a slip stitch. So that means I pull through the loop here, and then I'm going to do a single crochet right here. Or y'all, don't listen to me. After you do that slip stitch, just chain 1. Don't listen. Don't do as you see me doing. Don't do as I say. Okay. Cut that off. Now, if you want to, remember how I said don't be nervous about that hole opening up. If you want to, you can close that up. Just find the string that closes it. Okay, and they'll close it right up. You could just play with it to flatten it out. Okay, and don't be concerned if it's not completely flat. Remember, you're sewing this onto the bandana, so it will flatten out. I just take these 4 and I tie a knot. I double tie it because this is going to be hidden. Okay, just like that. There we go. I tie it tight. And then I cut this off. Okay. Now just make, you know, about 50 more of those and you can call it a day. More petals like this. Instead of going into another stitch to end it off in the same stitch you did the treble. That way it'll leave you more stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And right here, for example, if you can see that I ended this petal into this stitch and I did all my trebles into that same stitch. That way I have more stitches around and I can add more petals. I was just experimenting to see what would happen, and that's what happened. All right, now let's make the mini flowers. Okay, for this one, you just need one color. We're going to do that moving circle again. So you're going to put the loose thread right there, the connector. Y'all know I sew, so I'm going to call this thread even though y'all know it's yarn, okay? Do the connector yarn in the back. This is how it looks on the side. Okay. Oh, you're going to use a smaller hook for this one. Let's see. This is 3.5. Okay. Pull, twist, yarn over, pull through. Okay. Okay. Act up. Act up, hook and yarn. Act up. I'm just trying to show the people how to make the thing. Now that you have your moving circle, we're going to do chain 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to do 3 double crochets. So you're going to yarn over, go into the loop, pull, oops, sorry, pull, you have 3 on your hook, pull through 2, pull through the last 2. Do that again. Pull through 2. One more time. Oh, we're gonna keep it. My yarn just acted up. I don't know if you caught that. Okay. Chain 2. Single crochet. That's how you end it. That's your first petal. Well, that doesn't look like a petal. Here we go. Here's the petal. Oh. If you just pull it down, be careful not to lose that string. There, the more closer you bring it, it'll look like a petal. Do a total of 5, so that means you just did 1. Do 4 more. Does yours look like mine? All silly? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now that you've done that, we are going to single crochet, trust the process, chain 1, pull that loop. I'm holding on to this loop here because it likes to get away. You're not going away today. All right, now take that loop and pull that movable circle, because my God can move all things and make this cute little flower. Pull it as tight as you can. Or I'm going to tie this back here. Okay, cut these strings. Now grab any scrap you have. I'm going to use this yellow scrap yarn. Tie it 3 times in the same spot. Okay, and you should get this like little knot here. Pull it through. There you go. You have a cute little flower. The green, whenever I do the flowers in the green compared to like the white, the green looks like a clover. I don't know. I don't like it. There you go. So you have some minis. Go ahead and make a gazillion of those. And now let's do the next part. For the next part, you're going to need tulle. I'm trying to get my camera to stop shaking. Stop shaking in the name of Jesus. Okay, that didn't help. Okay, you're going to need tulle. This is 14 inches apart. It's 12 inches down. What I did was cut a 14 by 14 inch square, and then I fold it in half. I measured out 12 inches like that, and I just cut straight down. It's okay if this is not super perfect and edges are all crazy, y'all. If I show you, look at the back of my original, okay? All over the place, all over the place. So don't be alarmed. All right. The next part you're going to be making, and I will not be making this with y'all because I ain't got time. I'm trying to put out this content. The next part you're going to be making is this band. This all connects. All of this connects. How I did that was like this. That entire length is 44 inches. I'm gonna have my daughter's Barbie be a model. So that entire length is 44 inches. So I do not know how many chains that is. Do a slip stitch. Do a slip knot, put it on your hook, and chain however many you need to chain to get to 44 inches. The next thing I did was I wrapped it around my head like so, and I realized from here to here was 14 inches. To keep my marks, I got 2 scraps, and I just did this. I put the yarn there so I know where to start and where to end. Okay, thank you, Barbie. Then I get that yarn, then I get that same color yarn. I make a slip knot. By the way, this is really fun to teach your kids, and this would be a great motor skill. Once you create that first knot, have them put their fingers through and feed the bird a worm, and then they can pull it. But this is great to work on their fine motor skills. Okay, little bit of a distraction. Okay, so put that slip knot on there, and then go to your first chain where your marker is. Okay, and you're going to do a single crochet, and then you're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now you're going to double crochet into every chain until you make it to the next mark. Okay, yarn and hook, I need y'all to work together. work together. This could also be because I didn't use this hook for this particular braid, so it's a little thicker. Anywho, double crochet into every chain. I used a different hook to make the braid, so it's giving me a bit of a hard time. But anywho, you get the gist. So you're gonna continue to do that. You're gonna have a look that looks like this. Mine look a little funny because this is a different hook than what I used to make this braid. But when you use the same hook for the entire thing, it's gonna match up like the original. You're basically going to keep doing this all the way until the end here. And then you will be left with something like this. Okay? Once you get to that end, just tie a knot and call it a day. For the next part here, you're just going to do chains for 12 inches to match the length of the bandana, and the same thing. So you're going to do 3, you should have 3 parts, 1, 2, 3, to sew onto your bandana. So once you get your 3 parts, what I would sew on first are my sides, like so. Try your very best not to pull too hard on the yarn, because then you're going to create a gather. The yarn stretches, and so does the tool. So try your best when you're sewing not to pull very hard. Also find thread that matches so it looks more seamless. So on these 2 parts first, then add your bandana. Again, it will leave you with this. Okay, now once you have these parts sewn on, this is how I ended it. I just folded because mine was a little bit longer, I just folded it over in the back and I made a little stitch and cut off the rest. Once you do all that, then you add your flowers in whichever place you want to do it. I had so many people say I should add more flowers, add bigger flowers, less flowers. Do you. I will say this is the best tip that I can give you. If you have one of these, it is not needed, but it is great to have. Once you put this on there, hand stitch the flowers in whichever placement you want to do it. When I did not have this on, y'all, my stitches was everywhere. So don't be like me. Use this the first go round. You can get this at the Dollar Tree, Walmart, or use the link in the caption. Once you add your flowers wherever you want to, oh, that's kind of cute, layering it on top of each other like that. You're pretty much done. Take pictures, tag me in it. I want to see, and happy spring.